Hi everyone, welcome to Bass the World. My name is Gregor Fries and today I'm planning to probably not finish but the work further on the big studio pedalboard video. In the last video I already finished the small one which we've used a bunch of times since then, which is just super cool. We have the tuner, we have the jive, which is just a saturation machine. We have the power supply and we have a little active EQ if necessary. That works fine. So today let's get into the big board. This video is sponsored by my buddies from Jam Pedals. I will talk about in a few minutes what all of this is about. We are planning to do something really cool and you can get involved into this. So let's talk about this later. This board comes from Temple Audio. I already have like a smaller black one as the band board. And yeah, this will be the big red studio board. So let's get started. The first thing I want to do is to install all the things that go under the board. That means the power supply, the patch bay and the LED strip. What I need to do first is get all these plates out from the side because that's of course where all these new modules will go. And now as all the plates are out, the first thing I want to install is the LED strip because this goes to a place which will be super hard to reach later. So let me do this first. It comes with this little cloth so I can wipe the surface completely clean so the adhesive tape which is on the LEDs will stick perfectly. And at this point I almost freaked out because I couldn't get the first power supply through the new hole which was there. And it took me a little bit to realize that they don't go through there, they will just get installed from the inside as you see here. So the first screw goes in, the second screw goes in and that's done for the first one. Now we can go to the other side. First I want to install the power supply that feeds the two power supplies which are under the board because they need to get their power from somewhere. I don't fully understand how I'm supposed to get the screw like behind this little thing to fix both screws, so it's only done with one right now. I will find a way. Now comes the other power supply which is able to feed 5 different pedals, so we have 10 outputs in total, which are more than enough for this board. The last thing to install here is the patch bay. This has 4 in and outputs, but I will only use 2 of them because I don't go stereo, so one mono in, one mono out. At this point I can already connect the power supplies to each other, so there goes the first power cable goes into the first power supply and from there's another cable going to the next power supply. And at this point I can already check if the LED is working. Here comes the main power and the LED works. Beautiful. This LED strip comes with a remote control and here I'm checking just different colors and stuff. And yeah, that all seems to work very nice. Now comes the part where I put all the cables in between the pedals, of course. It starts with the first to the second to the third and so on. And here it's very important that the pedals are not locked or fixed to the board yet because I need to lift them up all the time to get these cables in these little holes. So we have this one, that one, this one also, another one. This one's fine. I'm using these EBS patch cables with those extremely flat heads and they just have the smallest footprint on any board. I really love those. And that's all the pedals wired up, and now follows of course the next step, the power cables. Now I have to flip the board over, which is always a little bit of a painful thing because that's what happens. But yeah, it needs to be done. And now I can of course plug in all the power cables into the power supplies on each side. So now comes the part where I want to fix some of these pedals to the board so they don't fly around as crazy when I do some testing, which will come next. So I got in these 2 cases left and right to lift the board up so I can look under it, touch under it easier and get these little screws in. So everything is powered up beautifully, so let's get the lights off and try the LEDs again. In lower light of course, so we get to see them properly. This is really cool. We even can have these patterns running, which might be a little bit hectic, but I mean, just select the color and it looks cool. I mean, I don't even have to use them. It's just like when I feel fancy, when I feel like today is a blue effect day, then I can have blue or green or whatever. Really cool. And now let's have a quick run through the pedals. Now let's talk about today's sponsor, which are Jam Pedals, which is a pedal manufacturer from Greece. It's all analog, it's all hand painted, hand built. They're absolutely amazing. They sound great. I mean, I love just everything about them. It's one of my absolute favorite brands. We talked about creating a pedal together, some sort of BassTheWorld pedal, whatever that will mean. And they make these really cool combinations where you can put different of their bass pedals in one big pedal and put them together. And yeah, that's what I want to talk about today, because I have my ideas of things that I'm interested in, but of course I also want to hear what you would love to have from them. So let's go through the pedals that they make, of course the bass pedals in this case, and yeah, I mean I will show you some quick sound samples and then of course talk also a little bit about the pedals. Let's start with my absolute favorite, which is the Red Mug for bass, which is based on the Electro Harmonix Big Muff, and this is my favorite drive pedal. Here it is. For me, it's almost like given that this will be part of the BassTheWorld pedal because it just makes so much sense. But there's another one, it's called the Rattler, and this is of course based on the famous Red pedal. I really love how these two work together, the Red Mug and the Rattler. That's what I have on the big board. That's what I have on my band board also. Yeah, absolute dream team. But two drives in one pedal might be too much, but maybe that's exactly what we need. I mean, just let me know in the comments what you think about. And there's a third drive pedal, of course, the Lucid Dreamer, which is based on the Ibanez Tube Screamer. This one has a different response. I really also like it. I mean, the Red Mug and the Rattler are my go-tos, but the Lucid Dreamer is also very beautiful. Maybe you've heard it, maybe you've even tried it before. It's great. Another great option that could go into the BassTheWorld pedal. The next one is the Waterfall for bass, which is a chorus and vibrato, and they also have this Ripple, which is a two-stage phaser. And they have also this Ripley 4, which we've demoed before, which is a combination of these two pedals together. Beautiful. Next pedal is the Waco, which is of course their bass wah pedal. It sounds really cool. It looks even better. Yeah, let's hear it. Waka waka waka. That's of course a little bit difficult to put in the BassTheWorld pedal because it's obviously much bigger, but I still wanted to show you what it sounds like. The next pedal is the Dinosaur, which is of course a compressor. The next one is one of my absolute favorite pedals, and you've seen it on the big board. This is the modulation pedal that I have on there, which is a tremolo. This is a very special pedal. A tremolo is something I didn't have so much experience before I got this one in my hand, but I love it so much. It's such a sweet sound. It works incredibly well for bass. Let's hear it. The last pedal, or actually it's two that I want to show you, is the Delay Llama and the Delay Llama Extreme. We got to demo the second one, which is, I mean, they're both analog pedals, they sound beautiful, but the Delay Llama Extreme has some digital components which allow some settings that wouldn't be possible with a purely analog pedal. So let's hear that. These pedals are all amazing. I love everything that Gem pedals do. So my personal choice, I don't know, when I think about the BassTheWorld pedal, I would love to have an Octava. I sent them my MPEG Sub Blaster last year, I think, or maybe this year, doesn't matter. And they made a copy. They didn't make one for me, unfortunately. I didn't get to hear it, but I would absolutely love to convince them to make this an actual thing and to put this unit in the BassTheWorld pedal. My absolute dream BassTheWorld pedal would just be the red mug, and behind it this Octava. If they made it, I mean, I would be over the moon. But this might not happen, so let's talk about what's actually there. I think the most useful is probably some sort of a combination of two drives, or a drive and a phaser, or drive and I'm not sure. I mean, let me know what you think. Or maybe also the Harmonious Monk, the Tremolo. I mean, they're all very beautiful. This might be a little bit special, so maybe the phaser makes more sense. But just let me know what would be your favorite combination of two pedals, possibly also three of them. I mean, obviously it would get a little bit expensive if we go for three pedals combined. Basically everything is possible. We could have all of them in one pedal if we really want to. But I don't think that makes sense to go for, because I want to create something, and I guess Gem pedals also want to create something that people are actually able to buy. And it doesn't make sense to throw all of them in there and have a pedal for like $2,000 or something. So what are the two or three combinations you would go for? Please let me know in the comments below, because we really want to do this and I really want to hear what you think. And yeah, that's it from Gem pedals. On with the video. Yeah, that's the board. It's not entirely finished yet, but now for me starts the test phase. There are even some pedals like the lyses which are not, and the buffer which are not fixed to the board yet. But it works. That's good enough for me, because now comes the phase where I try everything extensively, play around with it and see if all the pedals are in the right order. If I pick the right pedals, I mean, I kind of know I did, but I mean, before I want to finish everything entirely, I want to make sure everything's right and everything's also at the right place. So yeah, that's it. So I guess there will be another video in a few weeks where I will present you with the finished board and do a proper demo. Maybe I even play myself. I don't know. We will see. So far, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. Please like this video. This really helps us out. Thanks again for Gem pedals and for sponsoring this video. And I'm very much looking forward to what we will come up with as the BassTheWorld pedal. Thanks and bye-bye. BassTheWorld.